Alright, here we go again. Aloha team, this is Brendan, and just give me a second here. Let's see if I can get some stuff where I can like pin comments in the chat. If that's the thing, if this is working right now. Is it working right now? I don't know, it's working right now. I think it's just like a little glitchy and stuff. Come on, Facebook. Come on, Facebook, you can do it. I believe in you. Yeah, I'll just kind of like give this a second to make sure that things are going before I go off and start like giving that spiel that I usually give. But let's give it a second. Okay, I think we got it. Okay, sweet. I'm just gonna see if I can like pin. Can I pin? Haven't. Okay. All right. Are we past the network problems? Okay, I think we're good. I think now we're good. Okay, sweet. All right. Much love, everyone. This is Brendan. You're tuned in to another live broadcast of me working out, while also being of service to you guys, answering some questions, having fun, making me sweat, and yeah, exploring the mysteries of the universe. So let me just adjust the volume real quick in the background. And if you guys are tuned in already, please feel free to just leave some comments down below. I'll explain to you guys a bit about how we do this. Again, this is the Guru O Guru game. So basically, you propose like a question for me as the person playing the role of the guru, and it can be like a deep metaphysical question. It can be like a kind of like humorous question. It can be a half-assed question, and I'll do my best to provide some sort of like deep spiritual insight in a half-assed way by just like allowing myself to be a channel for whatever comes through in the moment. But it can be like some serious questions, absolutely. You know, like there's a good talk we were having on our Facebook page earlier today about the idea of like what happens after we die type thing. So that's always a good one. Let me just double check this. 1 second, let me just adjust some volumes. Okay. Cool, okay, all right, so we already got one question coming in. Gonjika says, hi Brendan, how do we get over stress? So the question in that sense would be, Guru O Guru, how do we get over stress? Sorry, the volume, I'm trying to find the sweet spot for that volume. There we go, that should be good. So okay guys, if you guys are tuned into this video, please feel free to share this with your friends. Let them know this is an opportunity for anybody to ask questions. I am completely in service to you guys for the next little bit, possibly even an hour. I really feel that like, I just like want to work out, and I'm even like wearing my like weighted wrist things to like make the difficulty even a little bit higher for myself. And yeah, so like as I'm doing this, I'm playing a video game right now, and it's like a futuristic bike racing game called Extreme G. But nonetheless, we're gonna channel into providing you guys with some moderately awesome answers. I'll do my best, while also just being here to entertain you guys and creating a space for you guys to be able to connect with each other. So anything that you guys are like, that we're talking about, that you guys are asking me, any question that gets asked to me gets asked to the group as well. So Jongika has a question of, Guru O Guru, how do we get over stress in life? And again, that question, turning it back onto you guys. How do you guys get over stress in life? So let's see if we can do this one. And any other questions that you guys have, please feel free to leave those in the comments, and we'll get to them. And just leave some comments with your location, have some fun, relax, and yeah, enjoy the broadcast. And of course, you guys can always check the links. I pinned the comment, I think it worked, for the Patreon and the tipping page. And a reminder that we're always inviting people to support on Patreon. That's a monthly micro donation, and we're currently at 5 out of 10 new signups for July. So only a couple days left in July. Help us reach our goal of 10 new signups. And you can do that at patreon.com/Brendan Culleton. And again, the link is like pinned in here and stuff like that. So, all right. Okay, Jungika has multiple questions. Oh man, we got a lot of questions coming in. And we got 10 viewers already, guys, so thank you so much. If people are sharing this video, I really appreciate it. Let's get right into this. Okay, so the first question is, how do we get over stress in life? And then, what is the purpose of life if there is so much pain and suffering? How do you feel at peace with everything in life? Okay, so these are some very, very important questions. So let me just see if I can kind of dial into this and provide you guys with some kind of answer. And again, like, I'll do my best, but again, you know, I think like the answers themselves are through the exploration of the question. There isn't necessarily going to be like a single answer, but let's take a crack at it. and let's do our best. And again, I invite you guys to be able to answer these questions as well. So, Guru, oh Guru. Hey, Rosalind. Thanks for tuning in, guys. All right, let's answer this question together. So, Guru, oh Guru. The exact question being, how to get over stress in life? Okay, so, Guru, oh Guru. How do we get over stress in life? The only way to get over stress is to get through stress, to get underneath stress, and to put ourselves through the stress in order to be able to develop a relationship with the lesson at hand. For nothing in life is given to us without a purpose. And yet until we find that purpose, it will continuously be given to us, time and time again. And so, part of how we get over stress in life is by consciously raising our awareness to the perspective of understanding, and this is like a cliche, but it's a cliche because it's true, that everything happens for us, not just to us. And so in order to get over stress, it's being able to redefine your relationship with your reality around you. What is stress? What is stress to you? Is stress always a bad thing? Can we actually develop a relationship where we actually embrace stress as an essential part of our journey? What happens when we radically shift our heart perspective, like the lens of our heart, to instead resisting stress, to instead being able to sit in the midst of it in order to be able to tap into more of our resilience? For stress is another teacher on this path. And sometimes stress can teach us many things. It can teach us that we are flexible. It can teach us that the path that we are on needs adjusting. It can teach us that there are many ways to view any given circumstance. And through the internal shift of our perspective, the external circumstances that we're being affected by will in turn be affected as well. And so, I think beyond that though, the practical things to be able to help beat stress is the fact that it's coinciding with the holographic nature of this reality. And what I mean is that anyone in this life is capable of getting to a point where they can be in the midst of the utmost chaos and still be calm, and still be strong, and still be courageous. And yet in order to do that, in order to reach this divine state that is our birthright, we must observe and take a look at all aspects of our life. For example, our individual self-care, our relationship with our immediate environments. Are we fulfilling our heart passions? Are we developing good relationships with our community? What can we do to give our soul the nutrients, the nutritions, the sustenance that it needs in order to be able to give us that peace of mind that will reflect back into how we perceive the world around us? So again, if you're trying to change your life and you're stressed out about one thing, take a look at other things in your life that maybe you have a little bit more control over and start changing those, and notice how it will affect your relationship with the other things. For example, take a look, this is an obvious example, take a look at your room, take a look at your living space. Is it dirty? Is it a mess? Can it be cleaned? If it can, do that, because if you're like trying to get ahead in life, and again, you know, stress isn't always a bad thing. Stress can be like starting up a business and dealing with like the workload, you know, like that's not a bad thing. That just comes with the path that we choose. And stress is there to really kind of like test us, for the universe to be like, are you sure this is what you want? Are you sure this is what you want? Because you can like quit at any time. Are you sure this is what you want? And if it's really what we want, we'll be like, yes, yes, yes. Like, yes, I want to like, you know, create this business. I want to like develop myself as an athlete. I want to work harder on my personal relationship or my relationship with friends. I want to become more compassionate. And so when we take control over like the things that we do have immediate control over, such as our relationship with our space, such as our relationship with our own body and our habits, then that gives us a little bit more power, and it reflects into everything else that we do. So if you're feeling stressed about something else that you feel like you have no control over, then focus on the things that you do have control over. And then you'll notice that as you adjust those, you'll have more control over your own relationship with how you perceive the things that are currently giving you stress. And what happens if you can radically shift, and this is the kicker, with anything that's giving you stress, I invite you to say this inside and really feel it in your heart and notice how it will affect your world. But think about whatever's causing you stress and literally say the words, "Thank you for helping me." And understand it on like a deep level as to like what it actually means when you're saying that. Because whatever's causing you stress is helping you. It is helping you become stronger. It is helping you become more resilient. It is helping you become more compassionate, again, more flexible, more understanding. And if you're in a place that's like a stressful scenario, then again, you know, there's a lot of different ways to look at that. Sometimes it can mean like keep pushing through, or sometimes it can mean, you know, take another route. And it's really up to you, and that's where it gets subjective, because it's up to you. When stress comes your way, it's either the universe saying like, hey, like, are you sure you want this? Or do you want to change your mind? And it's up to you to kind of decide. And if it's something where you don't actually feel you have a choice, then what you do have a choice over is how you choose to perceive it. And again, and that's where you can bring your power back by being able to understand on a deep level that whatever's causing you stress is actually there as a teacher, is actually there to like show you another side of yourself that's going to evolve your story to the point where your story is going to affect other people's story. And so down the road, someone's going to be like, oh man, like this, like, you know, like this workload is so stressful, or this is so stressful. And you'd be able to just like look at them and be like, oh yeah, I know a thing or two about how to handle stress, you know, like, and I've done it, and you can do it too. And that's where we get into the idea that, again, you know, like our stories are holographic, our stories are bigger than ourselves. And this is something I talk about a lot. So how we get over stress isn't by avoiding it, but it's by understanding it. And by understanding that even in the midst of stress, we can still be strong in our power. And being able to experience that allows us to become that power that we seek. So, Guru Transmission, signing, closing. All right, there we go. Let me know. leave some like 11-11s if that resonated with you guys. All right, let me double check here. I got some more comments here. Sweet. And thank you, Gunjika. Sorry, I always butcher your name. It's my Canadian accent, I swear. For that question. Okay, how do you know the Qliphoth or the dark side of the... No, I don't actually know too much about the dark side of the Tree of Life, Areli. But if you know about it, I'd love to learn more about it. Sean says, have to go for a bit. Oh man, my fingers are sweaty and I can't scroll properly. Have to go for a bit, but are you prepared for... Sean, what the hell is going on? 20,000 new PSC website signups? No, I am not. Alright, thanks again, guys. Hey Seth, hey Sai Sister, hey Carla, and again, hey Rosalie. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Again, if you guys are new to this, please feel free to like subscribe to my channel and everything, and be sure to join us on Twitch. Anna, do me a favor, Sean or Anna, leave the Twitch down in the chat below, twitch.tv/Paradigm Shift Central. You're gonna get exclusive broadcasts through Twitch, and be sure to create a profile and sign up, and then that's going to be awesome, because I'm probably going to be broadcasting later on Twitch tonight, so it won't be through here necessarily. And yeah, thank you so much everyone for tuning in. Let's get right into the next question. And so if you guys have some more questions, again, just kind of preface it by saying guru oh guru ... So Gunjika says, what is the purpose of life? So guru oh guru, what is the purpose of life if there's so much pain and suffering? How to feel at peace with everything in life. So we kind of already addressed some of that within like the dealing with stress type perspective. No, Gunjika, nothing to be sorry about. I like your questions. says, "You are awesome. I'm so sorry for hogging over your questions. And again, no worries. Thanks a ton for being there with me through this tough time. Sending lots of loves and prayers your way." Yeah, Gunjikas, totally. And again, you know, like how we get through stress is like community. Community is a big part of it. Knowing that we're not alone and knowing that there's nothing wrong with asking for help. You know, like sometimes people get like conditioned to this idea that asking help is wrong or selfish. Asking for help is actually like a form of self-love. It really is, you know, and there are certain points where we have to do that. So, Anna, again, just twitch.tv/Paradigm Central. You guys got the link in your keyboards. Don't have to go looking for it. All right. So what is the purpose of life? Okay, we can get some more questions down below, guys. Please feel free to share this video. Let me just wipe some sweat off my face. Oh man, I'm sweating extra hard. These wrist bracelets are working, man. I want to like work out for like an hour if I can do this. And again, consider this like a charity fundraiser. So out of this, inviting more people to be able to either like tip during the tip page or sign up to the Patreon or just even join us on Twitch. Like that's like another way to support. It's just by tuning in and being a part. And again, we're working towards, this is like a really cool thing. We're working towards the objective of like building our Twitch audience so that we can do synchronized global meditations with like 500 people tuned in at once. And so like that's an objective, that's possible. And right now we're at like 30 followers on Twitch. So we're building that up. And like that's you know, that's part of my mission, to be able to share that with the community. So thank you guys, and again, twitch.tv/Paradigm Central. Check it out. All right, so let me get to that next question. If you guys have other questions, please feel free to leave those. What is the purpose of life? Guru, what is the purpose of life? If there's so much pain and suffering, how to feel at peace with everything in life. So Guru, what is the purpose of life if there's so much suffering? Okay, whew. Again, this is a similar question, but I'll see what I can do. All right, Guru, what is the purpose of life if there is so much suffering? Okay. The purpose of life is to be able to experience all the flavors of it, and to be able to understand that from a higher perspective, that consciousness did not choose to exist on this earth plane solely for the purpose of being happy, but rather for the purpose of evolving consciousness. And so the only way in which consciousness can truly evolve is to be able to exist in both comfort and discomfort. And so though there may be moments where we may be lost in a sea of suffering, that in itself is only a part of our story. For there is always an island in which we will eventually find ourselves on. And that island, and that's basically kind of like how life works, is that we are either going, and so like the island can be thought of as like that good place, that happy place. And that's kind of what happens in life, is that we are either going towards the island or we are on the island. It's one or the other. And just because we may feel that we are lost at sea doesn't mean that everything is hopeless, and it doesn't mean that we won't soon find ourselves on an island again. Again, an island being a metaphor for like feeling at peace and happiness. Because in every story that we exist within for the soul, and this can take place over multiple lifetimes, everything that we exist within is always like one chapter in a bigger story that is constantly in a waves of up and down. So just because we do experience periods of suffering and like fear and discomfort, that does not mean that there isn't more joy and happiness and compassion and peace still ahead of us. In fact, one of the best ways to manifest this is to be able to understand that for each and every one of us, say for example, you've like gone through heartbreak in whatever form, let's say in a relationship, and we've all known this feeling. Most of us have all known this feeling. It's part of the reason we come here on earth, to experience heartbreak. And not just to experience heartbreak, not just to experience the suffering, but to be able to learn how to heal ourselves. And so that's like a big answer right there, is that the reason, what's the purpose of life? Essentially like there's multiple purposes, but one of the purposes of life is to be able to learn how to heal ourselves, and to be able to share that gift with others. Like, that is one of the most beautiful things you can do, is to heal yourself and to teach others how to do the same. And the only way you can heal yourself is by being wounded, by putting yourself through suffering. And so again, a big quote that I've said before that I feel like a lot of people are resonating with is the idea that your heart doesn't break, it only breaks open. And so everything that we experience, all of the suffering that we experience, every lesson that we experience, evidently, this is my theory, and I want you guys to tell me what you think. All the lessons that we experience, evidently, all point back to self-love. Inevitably. Every single lesson, if you really start breaking it down, every single lesson points us back to self-love. So the lessons of suffering eventually teach us, again, how to heal, how to find the spaces in ourselves where there is a lack of not fully loving ourselves, and how to mend that, how to heal that, how to have compassion for ourselves, and then to continue to step further on the next chapters of our story. And then again, it's maintaining that even in the moments where sometimes going through suffering allows you to appreciate things even more. It allows you, it reminds you of maybe I wasn't fully grateful for this before. Now I'm going to be super grateful for it. I needed that scary reminder. For example, today, literally today, of just a few hours ago, I was visiting my grandmother in the hospital, and she's in pretty rough shape right now. We're not really sure which way it's going. And I was sitting there holding her hand and everything like that. I was reading her poetry and talking to her. And again, it just reminded me that sometimes we need to have things very, either taken away or at the risk of being taken away, to be oh wait, I still appreciate this. And sometimes without that suffering, we aren't reminded of what we already have. Until something's gone, we don't remember what's already there. So we have to constantly live at that risk of impermanence, of transience. That's what makes this reality so beautiful, is the fact that everything is transient. There's that quote from the movie Troy, where it's the gods envy us because through their immortality, they have everything they need forever. But for humans, things are transient, things are fleeting, and it makes the love even richer, even deeper in that moment. So suffering is not a bad thing. It's not an evil thing. It's not a wrong thing. It's just a part of a bigger equation that evidently points us all back to self-love. So what is the purpose of life? Self-love. In many different forms. In the cosmic level, on the personal level, on the community level, individually, externally, seeing the reality around you. Consciousness is a mirror test. It's being able to see yourself in your environment and to be able to love it through there. So that's my answer for that. So awesome. So yeah, what do you guys think? How was that answer? So that was good. I think that was pretty good. I think there's some pretty good wisdom in there. Cool. All right. Awesome. Thanks, Gunjika, again for asking. I've just started working with the Kabbalah, so very little. From what I found, though, it's a bit like shadow work. Arieli, sorry, I'm probably pronouncing your name wrong. Elizabeth. Cool. Yeah. I definitely can imagine. There's a lot to that. Get it, Guru, says Anna. Thanks. Guru. Is sex something a guru is supposed to give up? Are we supposed to not need it or want it? Is something to overcome or move beyond? Madeline, I can answer that one. To all flavors, cheers and light. Thanks, Carla. Guru, can we survive without food? Oh, Anna's got a good question there. Love that answer. Awesome. Thumbs up, guys. Thanks for the thumbs up. Sweet. Okay, guys, we're at 24 minutes. I'm going to keep going. I'm just going to keep sweating here. I'm just going to, totally just, be here of service to you guys. I'm literally just, I'm sacrificing my being, but I'm sharing it with you guys, and I'm also doing it for my own workout's sake, so it's all good. Multitasking for the win. Sweet. Okay, getting some good feedback from that answer. Totally, I definitely resonate with that. And again, these broadcasts don't go too far, so, I invite you to, whatever I say here, that message is now with you now, and you can carry that, and you can remind people of that, and be like, yeah, okay, the purpose of life is self-love, and so if there's suffering, it's teaching us how to have more self-love. That's an important thing. I'm gonna remind other people of that, you know? Like there's some wisdom there. So, and it's not just my wisdom, it's like, you know, it's the wisdom of the guru inside of us, right? So you are the guru too. So what do you guys think to any of these questions? All right, again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Let me just wipe my face real quick. Reminding you and inviting you like every 10 minutes, I'm just gonna keep doing this, to sign up for the Team Patreon if you're interested in supporting what I do as a full-time job, and to be able to do that with a monthly micro contribution and in return get your Shifter Booster Kit. There's a bunch of people who are already signed up for the Team Patreon here, and again, there's a million and one ways to absolutely support, and doing it through the Patreon is just like an awesome way to be able to continue to help us transmute space cash. So you can do that, and the Patreon link is in the pinned post. So patreon.com/Brendan Culleton. And yeah, if you have any questions, just send me a message. Okay, I'm trying to scroll up here. Okay. Guru, my final question, do you believe in salvation as moksha? If yes, do you believe that it can be achieved in a single lifetime? How did you know that my room is messy or I've suffered heartbreak? I didn't. But I mean, I think like we have all, it's a common thing for all of us. How many of us here have suffered heartbreak and have a messy room, right? Like, geez, it's like at least 5 out of 10. So if not like currently, it was like definitely like that a couple months ago. All right. Sending lots of prayers to your grandma and your family. Thank you. And for the uncertainty in the aspect of your lives. Brilliant answers, and my questions very, very helpful. Okay, so Gunjika, I'm just going to respond real quick, and then I'm going to get back to some of the other questions. Do you believe in salvation, aka moksha? I want to know exactly like what your definition of salvation is, because you're kind of like using it in capitalization form, so I feel like there's something specific there. And even the term moksha, like I'm kind of embarrassed that I don't fully know like what the term moksha is. Like I know like moksha yoga, but like it just makes me, I'm just like, yeah, I should probably figure out what that is. Whereas I know you're familiar with it already. But if yes, do you believe that it can be achieved in a single lifetime? How do you know that? So what is, do you believe in salvation? Okay, so like, I guess again, you know, like what is the definition of salvation in this circumstance? I feel there's a particular, you're looking at that in a specific way, like sort of like access to nirvana. Is that kind of like what we were talking about? Like what? I don't know. Salvation is like a very magical thing. It's a very subjective thing, I would say. You know, like, can salvation still exist while we're still here on the physical body and everything like that? You know, like, do some souls envy us, even though like they're in salvation? And if that's the case, then is there salvation, absolute salvation? You know, like, I feel like salvation sometimes can be like being present here in the physical. So you go where your heart leads, you know, and your home is where the heart is. Heart is where the home is, you know. So all right, I just want to go back up a couple questions. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Madeline's question. Just gonna keep this in order. I'm just gonna take a swig of water here real quick. You guys are lucky today. Normally I only go for a half hour. Today I'm going for like I said, maybe an hour, maybe longer. We got 8 people tuned in. That's a good amount, guys. I'm glad you guys have nothing better to do. Thank you guys so much. And again, please feel free to share this video and invite more people to be able to connect to my profile. I feel that, you know, what we're doing, what I'm doing, deserves to have more exposure, and that's made possible by you guys feeling into that resonance, and you're just like, yeah, okay, let's like share this together, because that's how it works. Like, I can't even share this broadcast right now. It's totally up to the team, and that's not a bad thing. That just means we get to collaborate more. Salvation, moksha in Sanskrit, term for salvation. For me, salvation is the end of life and birth cycles. Okay, interesting, Okay, I'm just gonna answer that one real quick, just because it's like in front of me. So, Gunjika says, you know, Guru, do you believe that salvation can be achieved in a single lifetime? In a lifetime, what is the definition of salvation? Okay, so salvation is like, is the end of life and birth cycles. Okay, let me see what I can get here. Okay, Guru, what are your thoughts on salvation, I guess? Jeez, okay. Let's see here. This one's deep. All right. Okay. Okay. Due to my limited perspective, preface, as a human here on Earth, my answer is only limited to what I know. Everything else is kind of like a best guess. And therefore, I would think, if I were to like imagine myself as the bigger cosmos, I would think that Huh. 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 Okay. Okay, I got something. I got something here. Okay. All right. Guru, what are my thoughts on salvation? I believe that outside of this physical reality that we recognize as here on the earth plane, that there is an overarching experience that expands across many lifetimes, many dimensions. And each of us individually is our own unique soul, yet none of us is separated from our connection to the oversoul. And so the oversoul can be thought of as like the collective hive of souls. And so in this case, the purpose of an individual soul is to okay, I'll just say it this way. I think this makes sense. If a soul were to ever reach the end of its journey, meaning that let's say like a soul has come onto earth and it's reincarnated like 500 times, and then eventually it's like learned all the lessons it learns, and then it's like, all right, I'm done, I'm not going back. And if that's the case, assuming this is a thing, then in that case, the soul in itself, its journey may conclude, yet its journey is not tree down with the lawnmower, it's dead now. You know, on the surface level, that may appear so. It may appear as if the tree is dead because it is no longer there, because we can no longer see it. But from the unseen realms and the higher wisdom of things, we can actually say in truthfulness that that individual tree may be gone, yet it is not gone. It may have died, and yet it continues to live. And in doing so, but nothing is lost. And so at the end of a soul's journey, all of its code, all of its lessons simply gets recoded back into the roots of the oversoul tree, which then gets fed back into all future beings. And this is where you can get into this idea of thinking about how trippy, and this is a really trippy thought, of how like we as individuals are actually a collective amalgamation of multiple soul experiences. Like we aren't and that's because it neither belonged to him nor me. It was a shared code. It was a shared vibration. And so in that sense, we can literally like continue, and this is where you get into the idea of like we are literally our ancestors. In a more obvious sense, you know, not just like in a blueprint energetic sense, but in a literal sense, you know, like when a tree, if it, like again, you know, like you're growing a tree and you cut down the tree, but then you plant one of its seeds, is that a new tree or is it the same tree? You know, like it really depends on how you choose to look at it. And so I think everything has cycles. And I think this observation of salvation within the moksha sense is relative to the observation of cycles existing within all spectrums of reality. And yet, yet each story is like one of those Russian nesting dolls inside of a bigger story. So just because one story comes to an end, the bigger story is actually still continuing, is actually still a part of that. So yeah, so stories come to an end, but bigger stories always continue. And so in that sense, salvation as an end of a cycle may be a thing, but it's not an absolute end. And even the soul that lived the experience of that cycle continues to live on through other souls, through as like a fractal within other souls, within like the shared vibrations that we all access. So Gunjika, that's my answer for you. So as long-winded as it was. Sweet, okay, can you guys, sorry guys, I didn't realize that you were getting some glitches in the broadcast there. Can you guys still hear me? Okay. Okay, Gunjika, did that, let me know if that like gave you some kind of relative answer. Okay, I'm back. Sorry guys, I didn't know I left there for a bit. Gunjika, let me know if what you got there was actually like something that made sense for you guys. And it made sense for me, so, okay. All right, still got 20 minutes left to go, guys. Keep pumping it. Man, like you can literally see my shirt's like turning transparent like as I'm working out for you guys. Whew, okay. Did Gunjika say yes? I believe so. Or Anna said yes. Okay, cool. Brilliant, such deep answers. I'm crying so deep. Cool, awesome. Yes, I made someone cry again. Yay. Gunjika, thank you. And thank you for even saying that. You know, your vulnerability is seen with absolute love. So, all right. Oops, turn off the comments. Did I turn off the, hold on. How did I turn off the comments? What's going on here? Ah! 1 second, guys. Swipe left to reveal comments. Swipe left to reveal comments. Swipe left? There we go. Okay, cool. All right, we're good. We're good, guys. We're back. All right, Gunjika, thank you so much for asking that question. That was a good question. I hadn't been asked that one in a long time. Okay. Oh, man. So sweaty. All right, guys, thank you so much. This is Brendan, aka your dancing monkey, here for your spiritual reflections and amusement and service. So thank you so much for being here. And again, remind you guys that you can support on Patreon. Yeah, let's do that. Let's help Brendan reach the team goal on Patreon. As far as we know, unless somebody signed up during this broadcast, we're at 5 out of 10 signups right now. So let's keep doing it, guys. Let's get to 10 new signups before the end of the month. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. All right. Okay, going back. Is Madeline still here? Madeline, you're still here. I can see that. Cool. Madeline, thank you so much. Madeline's been a huge supporter. So many people here have been a huge supporter. So just big shout out to all of you. Madeline says, Guru, is sex something a guru is supposed to give up? Are we supposed to not need or want? Is it something to overcome or move beyond? Great question. Let me just get some water. Okay. All right, I'm back. All right. We're sharing Twitch links down here. We got, cool, thanks Anna. Oh, Anna's on mobile, that's why, okay. Cool, all right, yeah, just twitch.tv/Paradigm Shift Central. The mobile link will still work for other people. Okay, let's get to Madeline's question. And then we got, Anna had a question about surviving without food. I can take a crack at that one too. It's all good. Sweet. This is good exercise, guys. Again, this is like mental and physical exercise. All right, let's do this. Pump those arms. I like wearing these things. It's just like punching out all that spiritual wisdom for you guys. All right, so remember, the guru is inside. Ask yourself these same questions. Try doing that sometime, just ask yourself a question. See what happens, right? Okay. Madeline asks, Guru, is sex something a guru is supposed to give up? Are we supposed to not need or want it? Is something to overcome or move beyond? All right. Okay. Regardless of whether or not someone is a guru, it is important to understand that sex is something very sacred within this experience. And yet it is also something very neutral, and it is also a powerful reflection, a powerful mirror for us to see ourselves through. I would say that by no means does a guru need to give up sex, though there are many paths that a guru can choose. And should a guru choose to give up sex, that is absolutely within their willpower, yet not something that I would ever say is essential. Sex is like something that we can develop many different types of relationships with. If it is something that we feel we are constantly being controlled by, if it is a primordial instinct that is driving our impulses, then that in itself is teaching us how to develop more self-control and to shift our relationship with sex, and to realize if we are using sex as a means to fill a void that exists because of a lack of self-love. Are we not fully loving ourselves, and then sometimes we turn to sex in order to fill that through the external gratification of others, even in a transient moment? And if that's the case, then it may make sense for a guru or any individual to refrain from sex, to moderate sex, to choose to have it less, or simply to choose to have it in more intentional and meaningful ways. For sex, as is your body, is sacred, and when approached as a sacred ceremony, it allows you to carry it in a noble and wise way. And for males and females, cultivating the sexual energy is something important. And having sex and spilling your energy cultivation, releasing your semen, is essentially two different things. For one can have sex without spilling their seed, without losing their semen, which in itself is a powerful elixir that can heal the body, that can transmute the internal energies for male. And again, I can't fully speak for female, but it does have similar attributes in terms of cultivating the inner fire. And so when we are not like constantly having sex, or even just ejaculating, then we have the opportunity to be able to cultivate that energy and transmute it into other aspects of our life. For sometimes, for males, it becomes incredibly obvious if we're just like, yeah, I'm super motivated, I'm gonna get something done today. And then they might like go and ejaculate, and then suddenly they're just like, wow, I'm super tired and I'm just gonna sit here for a while. And so when we allow ourselves to really check in and be like, why are we doing this? Why are we having sex? Are we doing it as an act of self-love? Or are we doing it because we're fulfilling an impulse? Because we're fulfilling a desire? Because we're fulfilling something that we can see is teaching us about how to develop our willpower, how to develop our moderation in that sense. And so, even when having sex, if it is like involving orgasms, that in itself can be a very sacred thing. Because this is where you get into like straight up like sex magic. And the idea that at the moment of orgasm, with like aligned intent, either individually or with a partner, because again, you know, like masturbating can still be thought of as sex with yourself, you know? And I think like the act of self-love, the act of like really treating yourself like a partner and engaging and practicing that, practicing like having sex with yourself in a very like conscious, mindful way is very important. Because again, you know, it's important for us to be able to practice that form of self-love. And so there's ways to like masturbate that aren't very self-loving. And then there's ways to masturbate that are self-loving. And it's up to us to kind of discern where like that middle ground is for us, what's right for us. And we'll kind of know. Like our gut will kind of tell us, you know, like, oh, maybe I didn't need to do that. Or, you know, maybe I should have stopped or something like that. Or maybe I should have done it with a little bit more intention or something. But again, I think sex is something very personal. It's a very important mirror. It's something we all experience. And it's something that when approached with a degree of sacredness can be a very powerful teacher and something that will enrich all elements of our life, whether we are having it or not. And so that's basically my answer in that general sense. So there you go, Madeline. Okay. And I could definitely, like, obviously there's more to that, so. Okay. Awesome answers, thanks. Cool. I am able to open the page on my mobile on my laptop and it always shows me offline message to me. I've been unable to practice Brendan's meditations on Twitch as well because of this. I think it's something of being in India. Many US channels don't work in the legal way. They're available on YouTube. I may pray he continues posting his techniques on YouTube as well. Gunjika, if it's offline, that just means it's literally offline. It doesn't mean like it's like, that just means it's not broadcasting. So you can check the replays. If you just scroll down, you'll see the replays. And those replays are on for like 2 weeks at a time. So yeah, like that's not an error. I think that's just like how Twitch works. So if I was broadcasting on Twitch right now, it would show, but I'm not on Twitch right now. I'm just on Facebook. And yeah, and of course I'll still keep posting stuff for you guys to be able to find it, either on YouTube or Facebook or on Twitch. So sweet. Okay, so Madeline and Sai says awesome answers. Thanks, guys. Yeah, no, definitely. You know, like even for me, like it's like for me, energy cultivation is something I've been practicing for a while, and like it's common for me to go, you know, like 2, 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks at a time. Like that's normal for me, you know? So I invite and like kind of like, you know, try and find like what works for you, because everyone's gonna have their own flow, you know? So yeah, but yeah, no, it's important to be able to either like practice love with a partner or to practice love by ourselves. It's very important. So again, you know, like I love the idea of kind of like looking at yourself as your partner and like really like exploring that, you know, how would you treat yourself if you were another person right now? How would you touch yourself if you were another person right now? Play with yourself, explore that Uranus, is that the word? Uranus Valley? Yeah, it's kind of what I'm trying to say. Explore those like elements of eroticism within yourself. Because that's like about knowing yourself through touch, through sensation. And through that, you're knowing God in a sense, right? And that's why like sex is so sacred, because like it's using such sacred energy. And that's usually why people get addicted to it, because it's like super psychedelic and it's like tasting like God. And people are just like, oh my God, I want more of that. But you know, it's kind of one of those things where like you put some kids in a room and you give them like a plate and it has a marshmallow on it, and you tell them, if you don't eat that marshmallow, then in 10 minutes, you're gonna get like 5 marshmallows. And then like on average, like so many kids are just gonna eat that first marshmallow, right? Because they're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna eat this marshmallow, why not, right? But then like some of them will wait, and some will get like 5 marshmallows and be like, yes, this is worth it. And so ideally you want to be that kid who's gonna wait. You want to be that kid who's like not gonna just like eat that first marshmallow on impulse. Because even though it might feel good to like eat it, what actually feels better is the development of your willpower over time. So fall in love with like the bigger ideas of like what you're cultivating in the bigger picture of things, such as like willpower, restraint, better relationship with your body in that sense, more mindful relationship with your body. So again, you know, like the kids who like didn't eat that first marshmallow, like they go on to be like intelligent business people and things like that. So don't eat that first marshmallow. And I know you want to, but try it. See what happens when you don't. You know, it's similar to fasting and things like that. Cool. Cool. Okay, Ganjika, awesome, says the website's working on Twitch. Yeah, a lot of the stuff on Twitch is just kind of like casual stuff. So I mean, like, you can kind of skim through it. You're not missing too much. But make sure you're signed up with a profile on Twitch, and then download the mobile app, and you'll get notified. And make sure you're following Paradigm Shift Central, and you'll get notified when we go live. Cool. All right, Anna is laugh crying, I think. So, okay, guys, maybe just like 1 or 2 more questions. Anna still had one earlier about food. So we still got 6 people tuned in right now. So then we got like Ganjika, Anna, Madeline, and a few other people. Not exactly sure who else is tuned in right now. I can't see. Don't you eat those marshmallows, Anna. I mean, you can, like, honestly. At some points, you need to eat that one marshmallow because you need to learn what that feels like. You need to like sit with yourself and be like, am I totally okay with this? Or is there a part of me that it like feels like a little bit guilty or feels like a little bit like, be like, damn it, like I should have waited or something like that, you know? Listen to that, and make sure you're not lying to yourself either, because it's easy to just be like, whatever, like it's not a big deal, like whatever, man, like nobody's judging me except me. And like, that's the big kicker, is that you're fully responsible for yourself. You're right, nobody else is judging you. That means that you're responsible for your habits. What do you do in that case? You know, like, are you gonna be responsible for your own responsibility? Or are you just gonna like let yourself like just like be like a kid who's gonna eat all the marshmallows or something like that? And what's better for you in the long run, right? We should have the marshmallow test in India, it says. Okay. All right, guys, wrapping this up. Okay, so Anna had another question. Guru, do we need food to live? Apparently people can live off water. That's proven. But at the same time, I don't think they can live to their full potential off water. I think at times people can go periods without food, but I don't think they can survive indefinitely without food. I think like we do need that like ingestion of some form of like other material to be able to like feed our body. It's all energy exchange. But again, I know there are degrees in which people can like live by eating off the prana of the universe and just drinking water. But at the same time, can those people run a marathon while doing that? It's possible to like just live off prana and just live off water in like a very kind of gentle lifestyle. But in order to like be like exerting our energy and creating and building things with our hands, we need to like consciously bring energy into our body, so we're transforming it. You know, we're constantly transforming energy. So I think it's good to be able to realize that we don't need as much food as we commonly eat. I think that's important. So because again, that's where you get into like fasting and stuff, and you'll do intermittent fasting where you like, you know, eat like for like one meal in a day and then don't eat for the rest of the day, and you'll notice yourself get hungry, and then it turns out that you're just thirsty. So when you notice that like hunger sensation, just drink some water, and then it will go away. And then you're just like, my God, like this entire time I've been like eating so much food when I've actually just been thirsty. Like, what is going on here? And then you still have enough energy. And then it taps into your like fat reserves, and that's where you can like use that fuel. So if you were to stop eating food tomorrow, presuming you have fat on your body, you still have like enough fuel that would last you for a while. But once you start running out of that fat, once you start running out of that fuel, it's gonna be harder for you to exert yourself. It's gonna be harder for you to like build a house or like climb a mountain or something like that, you know? Because like energy that goes out needs to be coming in from somewhere. And yeah, again, you can like breatharians and like living off prana and just living off water, like yeah, it's a thing. But it won't let us experience the full spectrum. So we have to, as far as my understanding, it makes sense that we have to find that balance of finding out what amount of food is right for us, and sort of be aware if we're kind of tipping over that scale of eating more food than we actually need, and figure out, you know, like how much food do you actually need? Sweet. Cool. Anna says exactly the food I was looking for. Awesome. Sweet. Yeah, there you go, Anna. The guru has spoken. Okay, guys. 5 more minutes. Any last questions? Now is your chance. Any dying questions that you have for the universe? Again, please feel free to ask those. And again, guys, please feel free to share this video. Just spam it in a bunch of pages. That's cool. That's cool with me, man. I don't care if you get banned from groups for posting in them. I already did. Go ahead. See what happens. Okay. Guru, you are so fit to be working for such a long while. Inspirational. Oh, no problem. Yeah. Like even right now, I can tell like my stomach's like making like feelings and stuff like that, which just, again, I just have to drink water, but I got a smoothie waiting for me afterwards. Jackie says, yes, I agree. I only eat once a day actually, and I'm just fine. I'm gonna drink some water, says Anna. Cool. Kanjika, thank you so much. All right, guys, any last questions? Guru, now's the chance. I think I burned, how much? This says that I burned like 160 calories, but I think I burned more than that. I'm sure I burned more than that. I'm still, like, I'm working on, like, getting into a little bit more shape. I gained, like, a couple extra pounds from eating too much birthday cake, so. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, we've had some good answers here. If you're tuning in late, please feel free to check out the recording. We had some questions about, what was the very first one that we asked? How to live through suffering. Like, what is the purpose of life with suffering? How to get over suffering. That was some powerful stuff. Talked about like the salvation concept and the cycles of life and birth. Talked about sex for a while and the purpose of sex. And then we just talked about food. And now we're talking about what we were talking about. So we're back, full cycle. All right, last chance, guys, last chance. As I'm just like running on the spot here. I hope you guys are like, maybe, you know, just like stand up and just like do a little bit of stretching if you're watching this video or whatever. Do whatever feels good, you know? And challenge yourself. Sometimes you have to do what feels uncomfortable, right? But that actually feels good in its own way. So, okay guys, less than 3 minutes. 3 minutes left. So again, thank you so much for everyone for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe. Who am I talking? Like, you guys are already subscribed. Be sure to sign up on Patreon if you want, and help us reach our goal there. Share this video, that really helps. And yeah, twitch.tv/ParadigmShiftCentral and ParadigmShiftCentral.com. Oh, and YouTube.com/SkullBabylon. There's a couple videos on there that you might enjoy watching. Cool. All right. Any other questions? And if not, that's fine. Or just like give me a ridiculous one. Real quick. Go ahead. I'm waiting. All right. Deep breaths. Don't forget to breathe properly. Like even just like right now, like go ahead, just like breathe deep. Like this is, you probably have been breathing shallow the whole day and you didn't even realize it, right? Okay, any other questions? Gurush, how do you make everyone smile? Why is the sky blue? Damn it, Anna. Okay, Guru, why is the sky blue? Because it's not. Because it's not blue, Anna. Because it's not. It's actually the exact opposite of blue. And everything that we're seeing right now is actually the inverted color. So technically the sky isn't blue. We just see it as blue. Technically the sky would be like a skin color. It'd be like an orangey, beigeish color, technically. Sometimes. Anyways, next question. Just half-assed it. Guru, how do you make everyone smile? No, that's a great question. That's a great question, Kanjika. Guru, how do you make everyone smile? You know, I think you make people smile when you're not afraid to like authentically be yourself and to kind of not take life like always so seriously, and to be able to understand like the value of companionship, and to be able to like, you know, making people smile can happen in many different ways. One of the ways I like to help make people smile is by like knowing that people have potential inside them. And sometimes what they need is someone else to believe in them. And so in that sense, I'm like filling that need because I know that each of you listening to this like has potential. And sometimes you just need to know that someone believes in you. And so I believe in you. And like that in itself can make people smile because it's like, oh my God, like I'm not alone. Like, you know, like there's momentum that's bigger than just myself behind this. And so I think you can make other people smile by reminding them that they are loved. And then it can go into like multiple layers from there in terms of just being like, you know, what is humor? Like humor is a very interesting thing, right? Like that's almost a guru question itself. Guru, what is humor? Humor is like being able to observe the peculiarity of this reality, understanding that this reality by itself is not entirely serious, but is in its fact novel. And when we can observe that novelty, we realize that this entire reality is actually quite humorous. That this entire reality is actually quite cute. Like go ahead, start looking tomorrow when you go out through the day, keep this in the back of your mind. Look for as many cute things as possible and start observing how many things are actually cute. And you'll realize that this is like a very subjective thing. Because like again, you know, like even for myself, I like go and I'll like look at a flower and I'll be like, oh, that flower is so cute. You know, it's just like, I think it's hilarious that there's so much cuteness in this reality. And then you realize that like this reality is actually here to make us smile. So Guru, how do you make people smile? By reminding them that this reality is here to make us smile. It really is. It's here to make us laugh, cry, and smile. All at different times and all at the same time. So, awesome. Okay, guys. Glad you guys like that answer. All right, I'm going to wrap up this broadcast. We've been going for over 60 minutes. Sweet, awesome. Sex, salvation, stress, salvation, sex, food, sky, smile. Wow, please add if I missed out any topics. Gunjika, thank you so much. Thank you for co-hosting this, guys. You guys are awesome co-hosts. I appreciate you guys being here. Again, you know, like this broadcast wouldn't be possible without our collaborative efforts. So please feel free to share this broadcast because this is your broadcast too. You guys help make this possible. So let other people know. And when you share it, just like leave like a little caption as to why people should watch it. Be like, hey, you know, I was helping with this broadcast and Brendan's like a really interesting guy and you guys should tune in if you're digging some of the stuff that, you know, if you're looking for like those other, if you want to ask some questions and if you're a human and stuff, you know, so, right? All right. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to go take a shower. I may be online tonight for Twitch, so if you haven't yet, make sure you got your Twitch profile synced up and download the mobile app if you're able to. And either way, you can click the follow button on Twitch and you can get your notifications through there. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I love you. I appreciate you being here. This is always a good time. And yeah, you're amazing. Go out there. Keep changing the world. Keep shifting those paradigms. You are a shifter. So much love. Like Guardians. And as always, keep it shifty. And I will see you guys in the future.